being called a girl growing up, being called a sissy growing up, being called a faggot growing up, and knowing that those words were derogatory terms for a truth that existed inside of me took a lot of work. Being who I was, what I was created to be, is not a choice. Being that openly is the choice.
I want you to be comfortable to talk to me, be comfortable to be who you are. I want you not to be ashamed to be who you are.
I had these two parents who came to all my performances, all my shows, kisses goodnight, prayers in the morning. Like it was a very loving family dynamic, but I knew that this one thing was the one thing
that we didn't want to be a part of. I was raised by a single mother with two siblings, two brothers in the house, until my mother adopted two more brothers. Growing up, I always saw this in you. And the way I handled it, growing up initially, it was out of fear, okay? Out of fear and out of not understanding. Anyone who got sick with HIV or AIDS, I knew that that person was gonna die. I didn't want that for you. I didn't want any of my children to die.
The constant narrative was death by one way or another, by disease or destiny. And so the fear in discovering that I was different from people around me was that this difference was a one-way ticket to hell. I don't think that I can ever take that away, like your desire to want us to be safe. Yeah. But I hope that in you seeing the life that I live and the life that I've created for myself and the life that God has given me and the way that I move through all those things, that it can give you some peace of mind that like, my son is okay.
I just knew if I'm gonna be able to address it, I need to have the conversation. So I didn't know how to have the conversation. Yeah. You know, I just knew I had to at least start with a question.
I was still in a place where I was discovering my uniqueness, discovering my queerness, and also in a place where I was actively like hiding it from you all because I didn't know what your reaction or response would be. That was something that I really had to contend with as like an openly queer person. Will I live in my authenticity freely if my parents, my church, my tribe doesn't understand or agree with my queerness?
And I think one of the things that has helped us to embrace it is the conversation.
Yeah.
Or us understanding where you're going. So when you were hiding it, we didn't really know what was happening.
I think it's important to have that conversation with life being injected into the conversation. Life, whether it's through prevention or through treatment, but like life has to be a part of the conversation.
Ask your child the hard questions. Figure out a way to say the words or, you know, the sentence that you might dread or that you feel is really the hardest to ask, but ask.